Quad C Enterprises presents the A La Jazz Rendezvous. Starring John J. Sax Watkins. Featuring Stacy, Sarah's Girl, Richardson Crawford. And Hub's Groove with special guests. Lem Adams of Forecast and vocalist Mariama White. Saturday, November 3rd at the Breen Center for Performing Arts on the campus of St. Ignatius. Tickets are just $25 at eventbrite.com.
You are now tuned into Elevations Radio, your station for uplifting lifestyle, wellness talk, and indie music radio.
Views expressed on shows are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its management, or other advertisers. Use of these shows and all services provided therein are for personal use only. The Elevations Radio Network holds no responsibility for the validity or accuracy of information on these shows.
Hey fam, welcome to the Let's Be Real with Greg Bam Reeves show here on elevationsradio.com, home of the best indie music you'll find online. Also some of the hottest talk shows on radio. I am your host, Greg Bam Reeves, along with Marsha Simpson.
Good evening, listeners.
Hey.
Hey.
So this is our election show, and my guest today, longtime friend and all right, he's kind of Jamaican. He does a lot of stuff. Mr. Ray A. Freeman.
Thank you, Bam, and thank you, Marsha.
Yes.
So before we get started, we're going to cover the little topics I want to hit on real quick. But if you need some, I was about to say if you need some law enforcement, no, we're not looking for law enforcement. If you got some legal issues,
all right,
holler at Cats Law LLC. They're located on 675 Northfield Road, Bedford, Ohio 44146. That phone number is 216-313-0501. Now, the firm practices in areas of personal injury, employment, and corporate law. Their services include free consultation and continued correspondence. It lets you know where your money at, where your status is. You can check them out online at www.catslaw.com and holler at your boy, Sergi Katz.
Cat's Law.
When you need us most. And I'm waiting on him to call. We're going to hear a little something from him in a little bit as soon as he calls in. But in the meantime, I was a big Halloween guy when I was a kid.
What you
I was a fat kid that loved candy.
Oh, fat kid love cake? Okay.
Right, no, I love candy. But yesterday, people's true character come out on Halloween.
Yeah.
By the costumes.
Did you get dressed up?
No, I dressed up as a voter.
Oh.
and a working black man.
All right. Best costume there is.
But I'm looking at some of these costumes on Facebook and other social media. Now, I got to say, I love some of these pictures of these kids, especially the one that had on the UPS outfit with the black eye.
Oh, yeah.
That was cold. That was cold.
They did have some wonderful ones. I seen the little boy who was dressed like Prince. They did Prince tribute.
I seen
That
that
was
one,
so
too.
sweet. Aww.
I mean, some of these kids going to be mad at their parents when they get older.
Oh, yeah, with them pictures. Yes, that's totally blackmail pictures.
But, yeah, Halloween is getting kind of fun again. People are getting more creative. Like when we were kids, it was basically Superman, Batman, cowboy, doctor.
Or a box.
And all you girls, all of y'all were princesses. Y'all have any other options? Besides, no, seriously.
Barbie doll.
Yes.
Oh, Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in my time, I'm trying to think who it was. Like, Princess. Yeah, in our time.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of.
Yeah, you're right, cheerleader. Yeah, that was one of the major. Yeah.
But now you got Medea.
You got everybody.
I see a little bit of Eric.
Jason.
And some of you older women, y'all get freaky on Halloween. Y'all.
Oh, yeah, they put on them little costume.
French maid,
naughty
nurse.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen some of those pictures too.
Yeah. And it's on a sad note, when I heard about the kid, I guess he got candy laced with meth.
What? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, when we was kids, we heard stories of people putting razor blades
in our time.
But this is the thing, though. We ain't want no fruit. We was throwing that away anyway.
Right,
I don't know who was eating these.
We did candy. We ain't eat no apples or oranges.
And we was real picky with the candy.
Sure
Certain candy, I ain't eating that either.
Y'all had Halloween in Oakland?
Right.
Excuse me. Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. What did they just say?
Yeah. I don't know if they had Halloween in Oakwood.
Haters.
They drove back to the hood, trick-or-treated, and then went back to the...
And you are correct.
But that is something else we used to do, too. Like, we would trick-or-treat in our area.
You go,
and then we'd go to, Shaker, trick-or-treat there.
Oh, definitely go to Shaker because you get the big candy bar.
Candy.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Yeah, see, in our hood, we have fun size. They had the actual size Snickers.
Yeah. What, in our area?
You know what I'm saying? When you go to Shaker.
Oh, Shaker, you get the full.
You get the real Snickers.
We get the whole package.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
We might get a little bit of piece of candy.
So, yesterday was a little fun. I mean, I didn't do nothing, but I enjoyed seeing other people enjoying the holiday. But yeah, I didn't go anywhere. I didn't feel like dressing up. I was tired.
You working man. Hard working man.
Yeah. A lot of people put a lot of emphasis in it, though. I mean, Halloween is big, even at the offices. So
there was a time I felt a little uneasy being a Christian. I'm like, man, y'all going too hard on this devil stuff. You know what I mean? But then the older I got, the kid in me came back. I'm like, hey, people just having fun. Now, of course, some people take it too far. The blackface stuff, you know what I'm saying? That I'm not even gonna get them no air,
right? Because I'm gonna say they come to my door, you gonna get it.
But that is what I meant when I said some people's true character comes out on Halloween. I gotta mention this one dude that dressed his son up as Hitler. Like, dude, what is wrong with him?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to individual he is.
Thank you, dude in the White House.
Yes.
More separation.
Orange man.
I didn't see that many of his costumes.
Yeah.
Really? I was surprised.
I seen one, and it was very creative. I want to say she's Mexican. I'm not really sure, but I'm assuming she is. It was her. He was carrying her in a box.
What?
Like it's hard to explain. Like of course, his head and stuff was fake. And it was a real her, like he's putting her in the cage. You know what I mean?
Boxing her up and sitting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was another guy. He made this thing where it's a wall that says Mexico and his leg going over the wall. it was so creative.
Very creative stuff.
Very creative.
Very creative.
And that's the one thing I love about Halloween, that people get an opportunity to really show their creativity. Phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. I want to say congratulations to our Cleveland Cavaliers, who will be getting the All-Star game in 2022.
Correct.
Yeah, so that did pay off, I guess.
Yeah, that should bring some money to the city.
Well, yeah. And that day, for that weekend, 3-day weekend.
But it's a lot of money. They can last longer than just,
Well, what do you think they're going to do with it?
That I don't know. That's why This is the election show to make sure we get the right people in office to do the right thing with that money.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
The last time we had an All-Star game, NBA All-Star game in Cleveland was 1997.
Really?
And that was when they announced the 50 greatest.
Correct.
So in 2022, that's 25 years later. So we actually could have 75-year anniversary and do the new, because it's the new 50 greatest. Some people gonna get kicked off that list.
Yeah.
You got to add LeBron and Kobe and maybe KD. There's some people that's gonna be mad because they might just pick people that passed away to kick off the list. Seriously, they might.
Right.
They might. I mean, seriously, like for real. Of course, they wouldn't do it because he like the greatest ever. But what if, like Bill Russell, they said, "You ain't the 50 greatest no more."
Oh wait.
And Bill's still living. People would
riot. He had 11 championships, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. Yeah. Ain't nobody ever going to catch his record of championships.
No. I don't think so.
As a player and coach.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm just saying, if that were to happen, it would be an uproar.
Right.
Man, they'd be rioting in the streets, especially in Boston. They ain't having that.
Most definitely.
So, anyway, congratulations to us. And the owner of the Cavs said, I was about to say our owner. Lord have mercy. Anyway, the owner of our Cavaliers said hopefully we'll have an all-star or two by then.
A what?
An all-star or two by then.
Player?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You hear what I said?
That's 4 years from now. And he's saying he hope dude going to sell the team.
For real.
Mr. Gilbert going to sell the team. I'm a holler at LeBron and Clutch Sports and see if they can put together a package that you find suitable so you can go on back to Detroit.
I just wanted to say bye to Huey and Louie.
Huey and
you're talking about the coaches, Cleveland Browns and Cleveland Cavaliers.
Huey and Louie. I'm like, who is Huey and Louie? Yeah, holler at y'all boys. Let me say, I don't want to steal no thunder from Bub and Wax Saturday sports show. But I do want to say this real quick. I can see Hugh happening and his boy Todd Haley. I can see that happening because they were a mess. We should be like 5-2 by now.
Hot mess.
I didn't see Lou coming. Only 6 games after LeBron left. Didn't even get a chance. But then I heard the backstory. He wanted to play the veterans. They want him to play the young guys.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to ownership, you got to go.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Bye.
Yeah.
Your ticket is at Hopkins International Airport.
And he ain't mad. He walking away with $15 million.
Yeah, still got to pay him his contract.
Yeah, you still got to get paid.
Oh, well, I'm cool.
Right.
That's a couple Gucci purses.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Gucci purses.
Yes, it is.
That's her thing, these Gucci purses.
Gucci purses. Y'all know
goodness.
I'm going to say Gucci purses.
That's right. So, anyway, moving on from sports. Y'all make sure y'all call in Saturday at 4, Bub and Wax, the sports show here on elevationsradio.com. I want to send out prayers, obviously, to the victims of the massacre in Pittsburgh.
Oh, definitely. That was horrible.
That
was real heartfelt. That was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So much racism and hate. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's everywhere now. It's everywhere.
It's
also,
really
Maurice Stollard, 69 years old, and Vicki Jones, 67, who were gunned down at Kroger.
Yes, I heard about that.
Kentucky.
That was very terrible.
The dude sending out bombs. Y'all, it's getting out of hand.
America better wake up.
It's getting out of hand. Yes. Nobody was fool enough to think that racism was gone when President Obama was in office.
No.
But at least it was under the surface.
Yeah, it was.
Now it's sprouting up like
everywhere.
Weeds.
Well, when you have a commander in chief that,
exactly,
he got elected on some of those issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they put him in there.
But we did too.
Who?
Those of us that did not vote.
We is a French word. What you mean?
It was too many of us that didn't show up. This is why.
Yes, I hope y'all.
This is why I'm begging people on a daily to go to the polls.
Yes.
I'm begging you. This is why we're doing this show today.
Yes.
About the election. It's not all about just the president. These midterms are just as important. Our local elections are just as important. We got to get it. We can't sit back and say somebody else going to do it.
We got to definitely get out and vote because our ancestors had died for us to vote.
That's right.
And we really ought to honor them and get out and vote. Please get off your tail next week and vote.
If you need a ride, holler at your boy. I'll come take you to the polls.
Oh, yeah, call. Or, call Bam. He'll come get you. Yes, he will. Remember that. Hold him to that.
Early voting has already started.
So that's right. Early voting.
Yeah, that's right.
It started October 10th and goes through the 6th.
Monday.
Yeah.
The 5th.
So, the 5th. The 5th. Yep. So, no excuses. They open on the weekends.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they can go downtown, right, on Thursday, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. The Board of Elections.
Yep.
And they don't even need their ID right now until Monday.
Really?
That's right.
Wait a minute, say that again.
You don't need your ID.
You can just go down there and vote without?
Yeah. But this is in Ohio. For those of you around the country, find out how it is in your state.
Correct.
Because a lot of these states are doing some funny stuff. Like Georgia, they own some other stuff. So you need to find out early what you need to do and get those votes in. We got to change. We got to change the face of this Congress and the Senate.
Yes, we do. We have to. It's very important. If we don't, we're gonna suffer the consequences.
That's right.
Heavily.
So now that we've gotten into the subject, let me reintroduce my guest, Ray A. Freeman.
All right.
And give us all your titles, all of them.
Okay. Well, my main title is I'm the board president of the Warrensville Heights City School District. That's my main title. Mm-hmm. And then I have another title, and I'm the president of the Tri-City Democratic Club, and that includes the cities of Warrensville Heights, North Randall, and Highland Hills.
Okay.
And then I'm also a member of the National School Board Association in Washington, D.C., the Council of Urban Boards of Education, better known as CUBE. Mm-hmm. And I'm a member of only 15 members in America of that for urban schools, public schools. And then I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own company. So.
Right, and that's Freeman Finances.
Excuse me, brother, is you married? You got a lot of titles, all right.
I'm
brother
not married.
with titles.
I'm not married.
All right, that's awesome.
I know how to pick my guests.
Yes, you do.
Well, me and Bam go back a long time, so they don't know that Bam was a great catcher when we were little, probably about 12 years old.
Well, I started when I was 7.
Catch what?
Baseball.
Yeah, he was a baseball catcher. No, he was very good.
Bam was good.
Oh, yes. We won like
I'm just joking, Bam. I heard you was cold-blooded when you was a kid.
You know I was about to get started.
I know. I just got to get at you.
But one of the main reasons I wanted to have Ray on the show, besides him being a great guy and very intelligent, you being an elected official, that's part of the thing I want to get into today, because this is all about the election.
Okay.
And first of all, walk me through that process of being, like, a lot of people, I don't know if you all know that you got to be elected to the school board, right? You don't just...
Yeah, you would have to definitely be elected in that district.
Yeah. Because I don't know if we in Cleveland even think about that, like when we're voting, like voting for the school board.
Right, who cares?
You know what I mean?
You're right.
You just assume that it happens.
That's it, automatically.
Well, in Cleveland, now their school district is appointed, so those are appointed positions.
Okay.
But in the local areas like Warrensville Heights, Solon, and Shaker, you would have to be elected. So you would have to run, you would have to campaign, your name would have to be on the ballot, and that's how you get elected.
So, Mr. Freeman, you were well liked, and that's all right.
What was your campaigning like? I mean, did you have a full staff, and like we see on?
No, it was actually probably about 5 people, but I came up with a name first, so it was Better Schools for Warrensville Heights with Ray Freeman. So I wanted better schools for a school district that I attended. So I came up with that, and then I put together my plan of how I was going to run for the school board. So it was about 5 people.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question? What did you want to do different for Warrensville? What impact did you want to have on your community?
I wanted Warrensville City School District to be looked at and look at a place. Okay, it's an urban school district, probably 99% urban, but I wanted it to be a place that we educate our scholars. And I think we lost that luster. During my time leaving that city, it just changed. It was just like Bam said. It was nobody really caring about the education of these children in our next generation.
Right.
So I guess my heart bled a little bit for my blue and gold Tigers.
Right. Yeah.
And I decided to come back, and I decided to put my footprint down and be very aggressive and passionate about what I do.
Right.
That's good. That's awesome.
And see, this is important because, like, we heap a lot of praise on LeBron, and deservedly so, for building a school in his neighborhood, in his hometown. And I told people before on other shows, there's other ways we can give back, and you certainly did that. I remember,
he's definitely giving back.
I remember when you were running.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that's cool, because you can still impact the community you came from and the school you went to at another level. And now you're the president. See, I didn't even know you were president.
Presidente.
I knew you were on the school board.
It's just a title.
Free.
It's just a title. It's
Man,
just a title.
they don't just give out.
They don't just get. Well,
I was just thinking about this guy in the White House now.
You're right. That imbecile is in the White House now.
Yeah, that dude. Phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518 if you got any questions for Mr. Ray A. Freeman. So, is it been going the way you envisioned, or?
It's actually going a little bit better. When you get elected for most of these school board positions, Marsh and Bam, it's a 4-year term. So
Right.
4
Okay.
years.
All right.
So within the 4-year term, I wanted a change and a turnaround, and I see that happening with Warrensville Heights City School
Okay.
District.
Okay.
Back in probably about 2012, 2013, Warrensville City School, and a lot of people don't know, was the last school in the state of Ohio, public school.
Oh, wow.
I actually read that.
Did you?
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, for real?
Right.
What? I just,
didn't know
not last. I'm thinking to myself, not last.
I mean, the bottom
I
down,
remember that.
right, like out of
'Cause, you know, I
613
know
public schools.
just about everybody in Warrensville.
Right.
So,
Well,
and
you boarded our lake. I mean,
yeah, my backyard was pretty much Warrensville.
Right.
Was.
So now having Brad Sellers as your mayor, is that a benefit? Because I mean, y'all in the same generation, both Warrensville Heights grads. I mean, does it help to have that kind of relationship with the mayor?
Well, it's good for me because when you have a guy that's been your best friend since 5th grade,
I was getting ready to say they best friends.
and he sits right across the street on the municipal part of it, being the actual mayor of the city, and I'm the
Yeah.
president of schools. So we both 1981 graduates
Right,
from
right.
Warrensville.
Yes.
And then just last Saturday, I got enshrined into our Hall of Fame in Warrensville.
I was going to bring that up.
So,
I was going to bring that up.
It's very good because, you know, if we're doing something incorrect, I can get advice from his council and the different 3 Tri-City communities that we represent. So when we talk about Mr. Sellers and we talk about the council of Warrensville Heights, we talk about North Randall and we talk about Highland Hills and their mayors and their great council people too. So one thing about this Tri-City area, it's a family. So we have
Right.
3 different cities that represent one school district.
That's all right.
And that used to really confuse me.
I know.
Yeah, you know
Because-
how when you cross the street, you had North Randall, then
Right.
over here Warrensville.
And then it was it used to be at
Highland Hills.
Warrensville Heights.
Yeah, Warrensville
Like,
Heights. I was totally discombobulated
yeah.
when I was going through Warrensville.
It was just all Warrensville to me.
Yes, it was.
And Randall Mall.
Randall
That's
Park.
Oh, my
You
God.
right.
So I'll bring that up.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Randall Mall.
Memories.
Yes. I mean, we had somewhere to go.
Yes, on
And
a
kick
Saturday.
it and chill, and you know. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Rest in peace to Mayor Nash.
Correct.
Oh, wait a
grew
minute.
up-
Shanita's dad?
Yes, he
Yeah.
passed.
When?
About 2 weeks ago, they had a funeral, actually
oh my
Saturday.
God. I'm sorry to hear
I knew that entire family. They lived on Harvard, right across the street
Oh,
from
yeah, I used to love,
my
I
street.
love that
And,
whole family, Shanita.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Also, real quick, I want to say a dear friend of mine passed yesterday, Robert Means. Rest in peace. And I just want to say, pray for his family. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I want to get into the election. Okay, you being on the board, how much interaction do you get with the children in the school system?
It's a week-to-week basis, so weekly. I'm involved with them. I go to their plays. I go see them perform in different activities, so I see them on a weekly basis.
You're really involved. That's good. It's not
very
very
involved.
seldom you have an official school district that
That's
gets
true.
involved
Yeah.
with the kids and stuff, and that's good. That makes an impact, and that means a lot to the kids, and that's good. You keep on doing what you're doing. I think that's great.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Because in doing my research for this show, I found out that like 18% of 18 to 24-year-olds make up voters, but only 13% of that 18% actually vote. What can we do to get young people more interested, more involved in the election process?
I think on a school board level, school districts should talk about it more. I mean, we have government classes, but they need to talk about it on a local level. So they need to talk about, and they need to get to know their elected officials, just like Marcia said. They need to know the mayor. So if Warrensville Heights, you need to know Brad Sellers. If you live in Highland Hills, you need to know Michael Booker, the new mayor.
I read
in
that.
North Randall, you need to know David Smith. You need to know those, and I think we just need to reach out and do better job as elected officials to make sure that we're doing enough for the scholars to, make them involved. Because now that I see myself and our great superintendent Donald J. Jolly, we get them involved, and they get to see that firsthand. So we want to get them in a position where they have multiple opportunities. So
That's good.
And I was thinking to myself, like, elections are held. The polls are in schools.
correct.
Like you have to go to a school.
Right.
So it was like, where's the disconnect? How do you have elections held in schools, but students aren't really, like our generation, we couldn't wait to vote because we were products of the civil rights movement and all that. But this generation, from what I hear and talking to a lot of them, like I always mention that I work with a lot of 24, 25-year-olds, and I asked them this question. They were like, well, if they made voting easier, they want an app. They just want to do it off their phone.
And vote.
I'm like, there is early. Oh, you got a phone call? I'm like, there's early voting. Like, you don't get much easier than that, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, one thing that happens with the younger generation is that they're not involved. Like, we've had 2 different events, and I've had the Cuyahoga County Democratic chairperson, Chantel Brown, and her main thing was to talk to the scholars, and they were like, I'm worried about prom. I'm worried about my prom dress and who's my boyfriend. So I'm not really worried about no voting.
You are so correct.
I do think another thing is we have to explain and educate them on the issues that really do affect them. See, too many of us don't realize that some of these issues affect us directly.
Correct.
I've had people say, if you got your stuff together, it wouldn't matter who's in office.
That does.
I'm like, yeah, it does, because you may have yours together, but your neighbor don't. So you're gonna try to take yours. You know what I'm saying? This stuff does impact all of us. You know what I mean? And I don't think enough people are aware of the issues, which I'm gonna get into, like 2 of them. I want to get into in the second half of the show.
Well, the older generation and what you're seeing now, Bam and Marcia, is that older people say, "Oh, my vote doesn't matter."
And it counts.
I'm the president of Tri-City Democratic Club, and most of my members are the elderly, are senior citizens. But I've heard some other ones in the community of the 3, like, "Oh, Mr. Freeman, my vote doesn't count," and it burns me up. I'm like, why wouldn't it count?
Right.
Oh, they ain't gonna do nothing. Like, they think it's rigged type of politics.
Yeah.
Yes, they really do. This day and
this guy in the office said it's rigged, and he won.
Yeah.
So anyway, tell us about the Tri-City Democratic.
Tri-City Democratic Club is a club that the 3 different cities put together in 1982. They just wanted to have a grassroots actual organization that they could get their voice heard. Sometimes when we moved and your parents moved, it wasn't that many black families here.
Yeah.
So they got together in 1982 and they start meeting on a monthly basis and talk about, like you're saying, the politics and what's going on in their community and what impact could they do. And one thing I have to give it to them, and I wasn't the president then, they actually pushed for President Obama in 2008 and 2012. So Tri-City did a great job for Cuyahoga County for number 44, President Obama.
That is I would never forget that day.
Yeah.
That was,
was you tearing up? Was you crying?
I
was happy.
I was
walking
bawling
around with my chest out.
I wasn't just crying, I was bawling.
Were you?
I called my daughter in LA like we did it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That was just an unbelievable day.
Yeah. Well, actually, I called her the second time because she was still here in 2008.
But you felt the tension, though, in the city, though.
Yeah.
Because they were not happy with that. Some people were not happy with that.
But I also saw guys cutting their braids off. I heard women talk about, I got to get me a Barack.
I
mean, he's a great man to have if you're a woman. Michelle, you got to give it to her. She's got a great man, a great father, and she's a beautiful woman. I mean, that's what we as black men strive for.
Yes, strong black. I mean, they were a powerful team. They still are.
They are.
They are some beautiful people.
Yeah, but like I said, it doesn't stop with Martin or Malcolm or even Barack. There's plenty of us that can do not the same thing necessarily, but they don't do it without us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They don't do it without us, and is so important that you all get out there next Tuesday. Please.
You have to vote. Vote. You're right.
If y'all don't.
You gotta vote.
If you didn't vote, you would have still heard of Ray because he do so much other stuff. But but I mean, you got to get people like this in those positions. So phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. Now, what are your plans for next Tuesday?
My plans, I'm going to be hitting all of the polling stations in the Tri-City area, and we have 7. So I'm going to be at Highland Hills, I'll be at North Randall, and then we have the 5 within the Warrensville school system. So I'll be hitting all of those polls and then waiting for the election results. But I'm going to be shaking and holding people. And
that's all right.
Now, you being an elected official, is election kind of like watching the World Series or a Super Bowl for you? For a lot of people ain't into politics. It's
but I mean, I used to play ball, so I played ball, and I had a little taste of the professional ranks. So I was with Denver for their actual practice squad for 2 years. But no, it's a different high. Like when you play on Saturdays in front of 80,000 people, and you play on Sundays in the NFL in front of another 70, it's a different take. But with politics, you just hope that the actual people that you talk to, you walked for, you campaign, you looked in the eye, have a chance to understand what you were telling them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the only thing. You just want a fair election. Whatever it comes out to be, you want it to be fair. And just make sure that you have the right candidate, like Marsha said, in place. You have to have the right candidate. And we have a chance, like you said, Bam, to pick the right candidates this time. You can't mess up this midterm. You can't.
You can't. And y'all better do y'all research. Y'all know I tell you all the time.
That's her favorite
phrase. Do
your
research of who you're going to vote for.
That's true.
There's too many corrupt officials in there now. So let's get them out and get the right people in so we can have good results. Because if you don't, we're going to pay the consequences. I'm telling y'all think this is a joke. This is serious. And young people, please, by all means, please go out and vote. It's very important. If you don't understand, ask someone to explain the situation, the issues, and whatever you don't understand. That's another thing. A lot of people, when they vote, I want to ask you this a question. When they go to vote and they don't understand the issues of what it is, what do you suggest they should do when they go there?
Well, what happens, you waited too late. Like you said, you want to research. If you're trying to get a man and you want to find out who that man is, who that woman, you want to research it before you get to that first date a little bit.
But you know, a lot of people be in the booth be like, because I'm guilty.
Right.
I'll be like, oh no, who is this? You know what I'm saying? It's so many people. You know what I'm saying? And I've been guilty of it. That's why I say y'all got to do y'all research.
You definitely have to do your research because one thing in Ohio, and I guess it's with the other states, but the judges, they don't show their affiliation. You don't know if they're a Democrat, Republican, or if they're just an independent. You don't know. So they don't do it with the judges. So you picking judges that may be Republican and they have a different point of view, especially with urban areas and especially incarceration.
Right.
So.
So we got to take a quick break. And we're going to come back. We're going to talk about 2 issues that's on my mind and heart. And we're going to listen to some good music real quick. We'll be right back on the Let's Be Real with Greg Bam Reeves show.
I'm Carol Johnson from Burlington, North Carolina, and I listen to Let's Be Real with Greg Bam Reeves Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevations Radio.
It's something different right now, man. This is true sound. Yeah, I know. It's for the grown and sexy right now. So all my grown folk, rock with me on this one, y'all. Hood love.
The way you walk and the way you talk, girl, you got me hooked, you got me shook, and I won't even lie. The way you are and the way I am, it's so different, but I wanna be a man. Girl, you're just my type. I never seen no one like you, but I'm a must admit that I like you. The feeling's right, boo, for the night. But all I wanna know is, girl, can we kick it tonight? Tonight, ooh, girl, can we kick it tonight? Tonight, ooh, girl, can we kick it tonight? Ooh, the feeling's right, boo, just for the night, boo. And girl, can we kick it tonight? You smile, you shine so bright, you're such a star, it drives me wild. I'm really feeling your style. Your style. So sweet, so cold, so bad, so bold. Always new and never old, girl, you know that you lonely. And everybody wanna be just like you. Most wanna one night you, but not me. I'm a G and I'ma keep it 100. I wanna talk to you and get to know you and maybe show you what a real man about. Bet you love it, no doubt, but tonight it's all about you. I never seen no one like you. I must admit that I like you. The feeling's right, boo, for the night. But all I wanna know is, girl, can we kick it tonight? Tonight, ooh, girl, can we kick it tonight? Tonight, ooh, girl, can we kick it tonight? Ooh, the feeling's right, boo, just for the night. And girl, can we kick it tonight? Oh yeah, baby, yeah. Ladies, tell the fellas like, boy, you're just my type. Boy, you're just my type. Hey, fellas, tell the ladies like this. Girl, you're just my type. And girl, you're just my type. Seen no one like you. I must admit that I like you. The feeling's right, boo, for the night. But all I wanna know is, girl, can we kick it tonight? Tonight, ooh, girl, can we kick it tonight? Tonight, ooh, girl, can we kick it tonight? Ooh, the feeling's right, boo, just for the night. And girl, can we kick it tonight?
And we are back to the Let's Be Real with Greg Bam Reeves show on elevationsradio.com with Marsha Simpson and our guest today, Ray A. Freeman.
All right, Mr. Freeman.
Let's add former NFL player to the list of other things.
Oh, yeah, I'm listed among everything else.
Okay, so, by the way, we got a new sponsor for this week.
And who might that be?
Now, you know, my early sponsor is Cat's Law.
Cat's Law.
So this is legal too, because a lot of us, many of us have been in trouble. We've been down to the Justice Center, and you get nervous when you're waiting to see, your parole officer. Or going to this, so your stomach get to bothering you.
Oh, yes.
You need something to eat.
Where?
Carl's Inn of the Barristers.
Biggest corned beef sandwich.
1264 West 3rd, 44113. Phone number 216-241-4141. Let me tell you this for real.
Tell me about it.
And I was a correction officer.
Yes.
Best corned beef sandwiches in the I mean, people can talk about Slimers all day long.
Right.
Carl's, best corned beef.
Definitely.
I gotta try it.
Come on down.
When I was no longer a correction officer, when I was a
going to the
felon.
man.
You seen both sides.
When I had to go see my PO, Carl's. I went to Carl's.
Yes, definitely go down to Carl's.
Did you buy your PO?
No, I ain't buy him nothing. but no, seriously, y'all. Now, I was looking, it's a couple things on here. I've never had any chicken wings. Because the first time I had a corned beef sandwich at Carl's, it was so good. That's all I ever ordered. I'm that type of dude. I go to somewhere and I eat something for the first time that's good. I'm gonna order that every time I go.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go down there and try some of these.
Try some of his corned beef hash too. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good, delicious.
So once again,
too?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 o'clock in the morning, he's over.
Oh wow.
So once again, Carl's Inn of the Barristers.
Yes.
On 1264 West 3rd in Cleveland, Ohio, 44113. Phone number, once again, 216-241-4141.
Yes.
Okay, now we're about to get into a couple issues. Phone lines open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. Call in, let me know what your issue is. Well, not what your issue is. That's for Robin, the mind healing conversation. Tell her what your issue is.
Right.
Tell me what issue on the ballot is most important to you. Now, first I'm going to go to issue 1.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about that.
For those that are not familiar with issue 1, is about to reduce penalties for crimes of obtaining, possessing, and using illegal drugs. Now, this one, people go back and forth because they're thinking, like, if you watch the commercials or whatever, you're just thinking, when you hear the word drugs, you're thinking about opioids and crack and this and the other. This is people that are just using, or they're not like selling keys. They are crowding up the jails, and then people with more serious crimes get off because the jails are too crowded.
That's correct.
So we need to, like, these people need rehabilitation. I ain't talking about prison rehabilitation.
Right.
I'm talking about drug rehabilitation.
Yes, you're right.
Not
definitely right.
Prison does not help you with a drug addiction.
They just be able to drive drunk until they get out.
Yeah. So that's issue 1, and well, some of y'all already.
So what would be your vote on issue 1? What would you suggest?
Personally,
yes.
Personally,
I'm voting yes.
You vote yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Because that says that, first of all, you're going to reduce the sentences of those already incarcerated for, you got a dime bag of weed and you're doing 6 months. Let them go
to a week. Let them get. Okay, I got you.
What's the opposition's point of view? Why are people saying no to it?
Because they're only using the word drugs. You're a drug offender. It's just like, for instance, say, for instance, in certain state, you 20, your girlfriend 17, get pregnant, you're going to jail for statutory rape.
Right.
No,
but she turned 18 like a month later. Huh?
Because from the political side, there's politicians who are saying no.
Well, what it is and what they're saying and what they're thinking is like Greg said, they're thinking like you're releasing criminals. Like, okay, so when you say drugs, you're releasing criminals. Sometimes the other party or the other opponents for this, they want you not to know what some of those charges are. So they're thinking when they hear a criminal and when they think, oh, okay, well, they're just letting people out. So then when you have a guy that's supposed to be your president saying the same thing, so you're hearing it from the top and then you're hearing it locally from some of the law enforcement because, believe me, just like education, law, there's some money in that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're right.
It's a pipeline for our from our schools to go to prison, so they don't want to lose that money. So if they keep someone incarcerated, they get money.
Right. They get paper. That's big bucks.
And in the state of Ohio, in a lot of these counties where these new prisons have popped up, there used to be other industry there that's no longer there. So to replace it, they build prisons.
Right.
And when you build a building, you got to fill it up.
Yes, and cheap labor. You know what it is.
The prison, the one building in Grafton, that was initially made for drunk drivers. That was the original reason for it. It's just part of regular prison now.
Yeah.
It is.
There no drunk drivers in there.
They getting that paper. They raking that money.
Yep.
These corrupt officials.
And as long as there's demand, there'll be more.
Not all corrupt, no, not all.
That's right.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll take that back.
How you going to just disrespect our guests?
I didn't say no. I'm talking about as far as the penitentiary is concerned.
Oh, okay.
I would never disrespect our guest because he is a true example of a good official.
There you go.
And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
I appreciate it.
Definitely. He is a terrific young man.
Well, and I really, on that note, I wish that the prison system would get more involved with people on school boards. I think they should collaborate together to kind of, I think it's important because...
Like a straight program?
Well, not necessarily that, but I think they need to come to you all to get ideas of how better to rehabilitate. It is called Department of Rehabilitation and Correction, and there is none of that going on unless you do it yourself. Now, if you talk to a person, a member of school board, maybe you'll learn how to actually rehabilitate some people.
Ray, have you ever been there to the penitentiaries to speak, or?
I have been there one time in Kentucky, but Bam makes a good point, especially with the penitentiary and working with us, because part of my campaign speeches were like, I'm trying to get these children before they rob you. And those people, older people like, what? And I was like, I'm trying to get these young kids in their mind right, because you know what? If we don't get them right in these schools, they might be at your house, Marsha. They may be at your house.
That's right.
Sticker boys.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So we're trying to stop, because Cleveland is, and Greg, you know this, is increasing with gang violence.
Oh, my God.
You know, we got so many gangs coming up now, and you want to get that generation and make them aspire to be something.
Yeah,
you know? But
most definitely.
We have to work to keep them out of prison. I mean,
and I was actually shocked when I first got to Belmont and found all these folks. That's a gang, for those that don't know, that were from Harvard and Warrensville area. I'm like, what? I was blind to that. I had no idea we had gangs on Harvard.
Oh yeah, Harvard boys. Yeah,
and so I was shocked, and now it's just like, who's not in the gang? You know what I'm saying? It's getting to that point. So I think that would be a smart move to talk to people on school boards along with law enforcement when you're talking about.
We need to do better with the DARE program. They had all these programs, and they were great. But then when you look at, and like Marsha, you said it, when you put people in those positions and they take away them funds, it takes away funds from programs like Meals on Wheels. We can't even feed our elderly now. Yeah. And then you take away some of the programs for the children. That's why we started to make sure that we had enough money in our budget that we can do different things. Like we have a firefighters program, we have a aspiring doctors program. Give them something outside the box, even like the Cleveland Ballet,
right?
Something like that, because we got to keep these kids out of drugs and gangs, and we have to do it. So if we don't do it, who's going to do it?
You're right.
Exactly.
I always said that, it's going to have to take a strong man of God and, one of God's sons, a black man like me or you,
That's right.
to go and talk to these boys. I get passionate about it, but you have to stop.
Well, you got to be.
Keep getting passionate.
That's right.
Yes.
That's what we
love
need.
it. That's why we're glad you're here. So
for me, issue 1 is a yes.
Definitely a yes. I agree with Bam. Yes.
I would say yes, too.
Yes. Please.
Phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. Let me know if you got a different opinion. Holler at you. Holler at your boy. Call me. Let me know. So anyway, another issue I want to talk is just so happens to be issue 2. Now, issue 2 is a little more complicated. This is one that, like Marcia said, you got to do your research. Issue 2 is about the prices for prescription drugs. If issue 2 passes, then we will be paying. We won't pay more than the VA pays. That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah,
because you would think veterans probably pay the lowest.
Right. Yeah, you would.
They don't.
What?
They don't. There are prescriptions we pay for right now that are way lower than what the VA pays.
So you mean tell me the people that fought for this country getting taxed on their medication?
Oh yeah.
Kinda, but not really, because they got benefits from the VA, so it's like they ain't really spending it. You know what I'm saying? The money is coming from the government anyway. So that's why I said you got to do your research on this one. This is a little trickier. This one a little tricky.
Yeah, okay.
For instance, I give you an example. Because like you think about the billions of dollars that's in our, or hundreds of millions of dollars in our defense budget. Because like a screw that you pay $2 for the hardware costs $50 in the military.
That's true.
Like I said,
we charge extra because we getting that money from us anyway.
The pharmaceutical companies is the biggest dope dealers in the world. So
and
they making big paper off people bags. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, just like when they had the EpiPen, there's $600 for an EpiPen, and they can really get it for maybe $50, but they were charging people for 5 pens $600.
Yeah. And people get in trouble going to Canada getting it for like $4.
You pharmaceuticals got to break us off some of that money y'all making. Come on now.
No, we got to get.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna tell you this: Michelle Obama was on the right page. We got to get healthier so we ain't got to depend on them.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to start eating better.
I need to definitely because you're right about that.
Anytime you go to the doctor, the first thing you're gonna do is write your prescription.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. I don't know how many pills for so many different ailments that I've never even heard of. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Get healthy, and we can break them, bankrupt them.
And I can attest to that. I also told you. I mean, I got so many titles. I was a transplant.
Yes, he was. Yes,
that's right.
Yes, Ray was. Yes,
sure
he was.
And those pills for a kidney patient, they're like $4,000 and $5,000 a month that I would have to pay if I didn't have insurance. $4,000.
You are a blessing.
And you have to take them for the rest of your life. I mean, I take 18 pills a day.
I'm right behind you. I think I take about 12. I got the senior citizen box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, y'all both rich.
What?
No,
poor
not
people
me.
like you.
Yeah, right. I don't know what you talking about.
Not me. I used to be. I used to be. No more.
I'm poor.
No, but that goes right back around to what we're talking about, how important it is
Yes,
to change
it
over
is.
this House and the Senate,
Yep.
who are trying to get rid of Obamacare that has saved so many lives.
Yeah, they really trying to.
And they're
grind.
kicking people off health insurance.
Oh yeah.
left and right.
I just had to get on my job's health insurance today. And
Okay.
I'm about to suffer for the next couple of months.
Are
really,
you?
because of the amount that I'm going to have to pay. I had Medicaid when I got that job. And now I had to, I got to get off Medicaid. And I'm going to suffer a little bit. But, and this is.
You're gonna come out of pocket more for you.
Oh, most definitely.
Wow.
Most
$400,
definitely.
$500.
And there are countries around the world that free health care,
No
free
more
college.
drinking.
Right.
How come the richest country in the world can't do that?
It's a greed factor. When you look at these
Yeah.
pharmaceutical companies, and like Mark said, they're drug peddling, but
Yeah.
they don't want to lower their profits. So
Yeah.
they're not going to lower their actual cost to lower their profits.
That's right.
I mean, they're making
Right.
billions, not
Yeah.
millions. I'm talking about billions.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, so
Tell them what to vote for.
me,
issue two.
for me,
For you.
issue 2 is a no.
It's a no.
Now,
It's definitely a no.
like Marsha said, do your research.
Yes.
You might
gotta do your
look at it.
research.
See, a lot of you that's voting may not be on any medications. You might be cool. Maybe you just go to
Half
the
of
pharmacy
America
and
is
get
on
you some
pills.
cold medicine and you fine. Your hay fever medicine, whatever.
But you know, half
But
of
I'm
America
diabetic. I got AFib. I need these things, and
I know I need my medication.
I'm trying to stick
I got
around for a couple
fibromyalgia.
more years.
I gotta have mine. Don't say that about me.
Yes.
Right.
I gotta
All
have
three
mine.
of us do. So half of America.
We are
do.
trying to stick around for
Yes.
a few more years.
If the Lord
So,
allow us, yes.
I got more
please.
lives to save. I got more.
There you go.
We
Black
got
and
more-
brown kids.
Yes,
There
yes,
you
you
go.
do. Yes, you do.
There you go.
That's awesome.
So let me throw a couple of statistics out here. The average age of voters in 2016 was 52. That's about how old I was in 2016. Well, I was 53, but whatever. I was close to 52. I'm around the average age. I said this before earlier. Age group 18 to 24, which make up 18% of voters. Only 13% of them voted. So we got to talk to our young people. We got to get them engaged. We got to beg them, plead with them, bribe them, whatever. You get them to the polls. Tell them you need a ride. And then say, you might well come on in.
You're
with me.
right. I thought about that. Just like they giving out, what's that? Gift cards for guns.
Right.
Gift cards for vote.
There you go.
Go get
You
you
shouldn't
some
have to do that,
groceries.
but if that's what it
I'm
takes, then
just
so be it.
saying. Get you some groceries. Go
And
vote.
also, Bam, we have an issue in Warrensville, the Tri-City area, and I didn't mention it, but it's called Issue 9. We're trying to build a new high school and middle school, so it's called Issue 9.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I was going to ask you, were there any major issues in Warrensville?
That's our
that was on
major
the ballot?
issue is Issue 9.
Yeah.
And all three of the mayors are campaigning. Myself, Superintendent, and Mayor Sellers just did robocalls, but yeah, Issue 9 is large.
And let me say this for those in the Cuyahoga County area that's listening. I think that's very important. You got a new Max Hayes, and they're building a new Warrensville, West Side School. It's just called West Side School on the land that Max Hayes was on.
You know,
They're about to build a new John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
They already did a new John Adams. John Marshall, brand new. I ride by there every day at work. So they are redoing a lot of these old schools. So, yeah, I think Warrensville definitely could use both.
yeah, because I was going to say, just like how Cleveland Clinic got involved in John Hay, Amazon is in Warrensville. Or
North Randall.
officially North Randall.
Yeah.
But that would be something they could contribute to. I think that would be a good thing
That's true. I
for
totally
them to
agree.
contribute to Warrensville High School and middle school. Since
those
they are in
could
the
be
area.
potential employees, so they should invest.
So they should invest in the community. They there, and I think that would be a good thing, Ray. I really would.
I definitely need that.
I wish that
I know
that
you would get the job done, Ray. I know you would.
I'm going to try, Marcia. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I would really hope that they would talk to some other architects who are building these new schools, and stop building them to emulate these new prisons, because a lot of them are made exactly like the prisons are.
Brick and mortar.
Yep. So you're preparing our children
Yeah, mentally. Yeah, you're right. Subliminal message.
More glass.
Yes.
More,
You're right.
You can't even look outside. They say it's a distraction.
Right.
We all graduated.
For real.
I looked out the window.
I did. All day long. I still
I looked out the window. I can still hear what's going on.
Yeah.
No, you're right, though. Should be different designs.
Yeah.
And you want some actual, you would probably want some black professionals to be on that, too.
Definitely.
Yes, most definitely.
And so 59 of black people voted in 2016. Now, the reason why that number is important because it went down from 61 in 2012. Or 2014. Yeah, I just don't like to ever see that number go down. I want to see it. I know 2016, there were so many people that are interested in the guy that won and Hillary, but you still got to get out there.
Yeah, you
because on average, from the time they started taking these statistics, I want to say it was 76. We're averaging 66 to 68%. So we got a caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
On average, from the time they started taking.
You got to cut your radio down a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. How's everybody doing this evening?
How are you?
Hey, Ray, this is Andre. How you doing?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Hey, listen, I just wanted to call and congratulate you one more time for being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, man.
Man, it was an honor to see you get inducted. If people don't know your story, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It is so beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And I met Ray, about 4 years ago now, man?
Yep, 4 years, yeah.
And to see this man's evolution from the start to now, to him getting involved inside of our community, to what he's doing as far as politics, leading the Tri-City Democratic Club. Wow. It's beautiful.
Man, I need you. I need to hear this.
That's awesome.
And this man
going to hear it tomorrow, so don't worry about it.
And this man's only known you 4 years.
No, but one thing about Andre, and I give it to him, he's a hard worker for the city, and him and his wife came, but he supported me from day one. We clicked. When I had ran in 2015, Andre was one of those 5 people that was pushing it. You know, I bought sandwiches. I went to Subway. Andre going to get them. He feeding the people who help him. But he's been there and he gets it. He's going to school now and he's studying. What are you studying now, Andre?
Governmental affairs and public administration.
There you go. That's
all right. That's what's happening. Yes.
Right. Give him a snap, dude.
Yes.
He's coming, and if he can come, he makes my Democratic meeting. So, hey, I thank you, brother. I truly do. So, thank you.
Well, I mean, thanks is all yours. I mean, you have really transformed the school system. You and Dr. Jolly. And so I just want to call in again and say thanks for allowing me and my wife to witness such, I don't want to say greatness because you haven't yet achieved.
Not at all. Nowhere near, brother.
He's on his way.
On the way, yeah.
Nowhere near. But thank you, Andre. I appreciate you, man.
You're welcome. You all have a great evening.
You have a blessed one.
Thanks for calling.
Uh-huh.
And okay, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Ohio.
Cleveland,
Okay.
What's your name?
Tiffany Cameron.
Okay.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hey, Tiffany.
Can you turn your radio down for us, please?
Ohio.
Turn the radio down.
Can you turn your radio down, Tiff?
What's the question?
Tiffany Cameron.
I heard it.
We can't hear you, sweetie.
How are you?
We're good.
Can you turn your radio down because there's a delay, please?
Turn the radio down, Kelly.
Kelly, turn the radio down.
I don't have a radio.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Your speaker, whatever you
got
listen
us on
to us on.
speaker?
It might be through your phone.
Yeah.
Turn the radio down, Kelly.
Kelly.
I don't have a radio. I don't have a station on.
No problem. Can you just add the question?
Right.
Whatever you...
Go ahead and say what you want to say.
Hold on.
Kelly? Hello?
Kelly, can you hear us?
Did we lose you guys? They still there? Okay. I don't know what to say about that one.
Right. So
I want to say one thing. Between me and Bam, Ray, we've known you over 20-something plus years. Another caller? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. We got another caller. Hello?
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Cameron, calling from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, how you doing?
Kelly got it. Kelly got it together now.
No, I'm on the phone by myself.
All right, Miss Tiffany. Hi.
How you doing, Tiffany?
Hey, Ray, how you doing? This is Tiffany.
You had a question, or?
Yeah, I have a question for you. First of all, congratulations on being inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much.
I have a question. Why is Democratic Club in different cities needed?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
but,
that is.
One thing Bam had mentioned, and you want to get out the vote, one thing that helps with these different separate Democratic clubs like Shaker, Lakewood, Solon, is to get to the actual ground of these voters. So, like in our district alone, we have about 7 or 8 precinct leaders, and they go around to where they live in the different wards and talk to the different voters. So you want to make sure you get out and vote. But why they're needed is, like in the Cuyahoga County, you don't have that actual personnel that can get out and touch the homeowner. With these actual Democratic clubs, they can get, and they can be locally to touch. The actual voter can come to a Democratic meeting and get to know who the issues are. Like Marsha said, do your research. And that's what I do on a monthly basis with our club. But they're needed because how else would they know what some of the issues that Bam went over, like issue 1 and 2, and just those outlets for having a Democratic club could do that for you. But that's a great question.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks you, Tiffany.
Calling.
Have a blessed day.
You too now.
All right.
Okay, so we got to get ready to wrap up here in a minute. I just want to say also that 51% of our voters are women. So sisters, y'all got to get out there and do y'all thing.
Sisters, yes, let's do our thing.
Like y'all did in Alabama, like I know you're going to do in Georgia. I know you're going to do it in Florida.
Yes.
So yeah, let's change the face of this Democratic
club. One thing that I've seen, and like we got 871 registered voters in Cuyahoga County, but the 58% is unaffiliated. It's not showing if they're Democrat, Republican, or Independent. So if you got 58% of 871, you want to either vote one way or the other. I mean,
right.
You know, I know a lot of times they get kicked out because they haven't voted in 2 cycles, but we're just hoping that they vote. And, you know, I'm a Democrat, so I'm always going to vote
Democrats. We all Democrats here.
Yep. And on that note, I personally am endorsing Richard Cordray and Betty Sutton for governor and lieutenant governor.
Yes.
Steve Dettelbach for attorney general and Sherrod Brown for senator. Those are the major ones that I was talking about today because they're going to Washington. Well, not the attorney general, but the rest of them, they're going to Washington, and we need their even the governors. They do their thing in D.C. also. So anyway. We got to get ready to go. Thank you so much, Mr. Freeman, for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman, for coming. Yes, always.
We got to have you back real soon.
Oh, I will.
And like I always say, develop your hunger for knowledge and feed it. Pick up a book and read it. Set a goal and see it through. And always, always believe in you. Peace and love, fam.
Peace and love, everyone. Bye.
Let them know now. Zambinga. Rider Shafi. That one for the proud girl. I'm like, tip on them all over your seat. Loud and proud. Oh, snap.
You're proud of your shape, proud of your size, proud of your looks and you're proud of your style, proud of your body, your bumper and thighs, you're proud of your complexion, so kill him with a smile, proud of your shape,